Watchers of the time stream, what do clamshells, leather jacket-clad birds, and palace guards all have in common? They're all getting our full attention in another huge Tuesday conversation on the Dungeon Rundown. Last week was all about the feels. We were laughing, crying, and wondering how all those voices come out of one DM. Jeff never ceases to amaze. Here to discuss all the magical moments of last week's episode, welcome the beach gnome with a heart twice her diminutive size, Lily Katie Michels.
Yes, I have a 6-foot heart.
Yeah, short people. And the most introspective, self-aware 3/4 orc on this side of Bingle, Uggo. Welcome, Ron Ogden.
Hi. Your heart's as big as me.
Yeah, my heart is as tall as Uggo's body.
Yep.
Is that on the character sheet?
It should be, because you said it's double my size, so it would be 6'6".
Okay.
True story. Uggo's heart might be the size of Lily.
Oh, wow.
Well, that's why you guys complement each other so well. Yeah. So for the next hour, stay here on Caffeine as we take a deep dive into the emotion and action happening around the table of your favorite live-action D&D game. With just one day until the dungeon run, there's no other place to be. Guys, I'm so happy to have you both here tonight.
Happy to be here.
Yeah,
Thank you for being here. Last week's episode was a doozy.
Yep.
I feel like every week, I think I'm like, that was it, now we're gonna have a calm episode, and then
Never.
do.
No, Jeff ensures that, I think. Yeah.
But last week was especially heart-wrenching in moments.
It definitely was, and we will dive into that in just a sec. All right, week after week, you, the watchers and runners, help keep the talk exciting and moving forward. Be sure to hit the share button and get your friends in on the chat too. Then, while you're at it, post your funny, witty, and profound comments and questions, and the most awesome post of the night gets theirs read aloud and wins some cool Dungeon Run gear.
Ooh.
Very awesome. I see, Ron, you're wearing your Dungeon Run gear tonight. I love it. Lord Araban's Dungeon Run. Let the dice roll.
Let the dice roll.
Very
Araman's
nice.
got such elegant hands.
He really does.
It does.
Those are fingers that you want.
Oh, yeah.
That's a weird thing to say, but you want those hands.
Really? He's only got 4 fingers. You want one less finger?
No, I'm just saying they're very elegant. They're got good he's got ballet hands.
Lord Araban is also a hand model on the
Photogenetic
side.
hands. Yep,
Yes.
That's a better way to say it than those are fingers you want, which is what I said.
Yes. So in Katie's next life, she will be a hand model, and Lord Araban will be your mentor.
Yeah, great.
There you go. He can write off manicures. Okay, Katie and Ron, you are both Dungeon Rundown savvy, so you know how this works. You know we kick off each episode with a little bit of a warm-up to get the discussion going. Now, there were some big, very connected moments in last week's episode, and considering how fast the party's moving, you've barely even had a moment to discuss anything with each other or with the people that you're passing by. I'm thinking that maybe a quick thank you note would be a great way to share your appreciation. So who would you send a kind, sarcastic, or maybe even funny thank you note to, and what would it say? It could be the salvage manders, it could be the bartender or a guard, maybe someone in the party. You both had a minute before the show to write your letters, and chat, I'll be coming to you as well. So write your quick little thank yous in chat as well. But Katie, you get to go first.
Oh, I do? Okay.
Yeah!
All right. Mine's a song.
Of course it is.
Yeah. That's all I know how to do. Beebaloob, we thank you for your hospitality. Also, I apologize, we defaced your property. We didn't mean to hurt the clam or the precious floater. I promise on my life that we will try to make it better. We all love the night drift, even if it made us silly. Thank you, truly, for everything. Love, Lily.
Aww. Maybe it would change their minds.
Yeah.
Maybe they would hear that song and think, you guys aren't that bad.
I love how it was Civ and Uggo that did that, and she's already like, we did it.
Yeah.
We
So
did.
that's so
To be fair, you all got kicked out.
well, yeah. Still could be like, they did it.
No.
That's true.
That's not gonna help us at all.
See, this is why.
So Ron, who would your thank you note be to?
Well, since you wanted us to do it in character, I'm going to do it in character.
Great, 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 great.
Dear Uggo, thank you for deciding to leave home. Though you may have run away from something, if you had not left, Uggo would not have the family he have now. Thank you for meeting Lily. She taught Uggo that rage is weaker than love. And rage is pretty strong. Crazy, right? Thank you for Fahima. She taught Uggo that rage exists in magic too. Uggo not alone. Thank you for James. He is blood brother who is better brother than actual brother, though they seem to share a lot of things. Thank you for Civ. Battle brother teach Uggo ways of battle he never know before. He make Uggo dangerous and silent. Yeah! And finally, thank you for fighting us. Thank you for remembering words and feelings of ancestors, even when Rage Demon makes you forget. Now Uggo return favor to Uggo. Remember these words. All things die, but not all things must die in battle. Some battles are won with words, not always S-words. Uggo.
Yes, indeed, chat. Uggo did just write a thank you letter to himself for clarification.
Also,
I love it.
can you write all those words?
Not at all. So obviously
So you
someone
narrated
helped.
it to me who
Well,
wrote
and-
all the thank you letter.
That's it. And in fact, I have a whole nother one that's written that was like, Uggo read that aloud, and Lily was like, you should not, that's not the letter you want to send. Write a different
Why
one.
don't you read the other letter? We have time.
Okay.
Dear clam that gave Civ gold pearl, I want to thank you for all the time we spent together, despite me crushing your shell and in the process killing you. I feel that you have taught me a valuable lesson, though I am not sure what that lesson is just yet. Maybe don't smash things people eat while in front of them. Clams' lives mean more than others' lives? Oh, maybe the lesson is that you shouldn't attack Civ while Uggo nearby and can see you. So I see you, Clam, and I thank you. You were delicious, Uggo.
Aw.
How very wise. Uggo the wise.
I love a thank you note that ends with "you were delicious."
I also like in there, I put, so I see you, Clam.
I see you.
I see you, Clam.
Yeah. I also killed you. And I see you.
Chat's got some zingers in here.
Oh.
Let's see. I am Robin Nicole says, thank you, hot bartender, for scamming us out of extra gold using a sexy voice. There you go. Anyone else have the hots for hot bartender? Katie, Ron? No?
Yeah.
Sure.
I think maybe.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I don't know Hot Bartender's name, and I typically like to know someone's name before I find them attractive or not.
Okay.
I think Lily found him kind of mysterious.
Well, sure.
Yeah.
He was very mysterious.
Yeah. And had no time for her.
Well, that's the way it goes sometimes,
Yeah.
unfortunately. Goofy BK says, thank you, Milo, for your bowl. It has brought many much joy. And this is a more serious one from Fail Waffle. Says, thank you note to Morgan and Ron for always being connected and kind to us fans.
Aw.
That's true.
You're
You
welcome.
guys
You
are
guys are the
very
best.
active in the Discord.
Well, that's, you know, I've said this. I'm not just a player. I'm also a fan.
Yes.
I am also learning how to use Discord. Are we
We'll
doing
help.
this?
We'll help.
Jared-
I am figuring it out.
Jared just said in chat that his name is now officially Hot Bartender.
Yeah.
Wait, Jared's name is now?
No, the hot bartender's
Hot
name.
It's like,
Bartender's
my
name
name
is
is now
Hot
Hot
Bartender.
Bartender. Like, okay, Jared, all right.
We get it,
Get it,
Jared.
Jared.
Malcolm S3XS says he's a player. Bow chicka bow wow. Is that what you meant?
Wow.
Obviously.
That's not what I meant.
Okay.
I'm a very loyal person.
See, thank you for that clarification, everyone at home. You know what else we could have written this evening? We could have written a heartfelt tribute to the clam. Yeah, R.I.P. Mr. Clam. Here, folks, take a moment to watch back Civ and Uggo's funny yet relationship-altering moment with the Salvage Manders. Here.
So you both come at it from either side with your crowbars, and you both stick it right on. You hear this as you stick it, and you both pull with all your might. What you failed to realize is how much stronger Uggo is than you.
Sure.
And Uggo pulls it with all his might. Before you have even started, it goes flying into the air, flipping over, and lands on you.
Oh, no.
The giant clam pinning you to the ground.
God.
And your little friend goes, oh no! Oh! This is the worst!
I immediately try to pull the clam off of him.
Oh, no.
It's not a big deal. I just put it right down.
Fairly.
Yeah, just put it right
Fairly
back down.
easily, yes.
You ready to try again?
No, that was a terrible idea.
Okay. I pull out the maul and I smash it.
I run away. I immediately jump out of the way.
Who's around other than me?
The little Lotolite, the little salvage
And he didn't
mander.
like freak out when I cracked it?
I mean, he's been freaking out this whole time. Ever since
freak
the
out more.
plan went awry, he's been. Yeah,
He's still freaking out?
He's paralyzed with shock and fear.
I'm gonna
Cracked.
hit it until it splits open.
Yeah, and it does. It cracks open, and you see inside this giant pearl. You hear from behind you, Siv, you're kind of still on the ground,
Right.
nursing your wounds a little
Right.
bit. It's acid damage, and you see 3 or 4 salvage manners come walking up, including Bibaloo, who, with the crown, walking up and going, "Why be you dooba Davis? Why be you destroy me?
What?
Why be?
This?
Yebus. Yubu. We be braving Yubu. Help Yubu. Why be you braving? To
Oh.
destroy me.
Is there a problem to break it?
And the salvage man is going to turn and walk. You be fibing. Davis. Baby covers you abisk. I mean, you bravik. We be done bravik. We be mavik. Nabit bravik. Yubu. Yubu habav. Yubu liebiv.
I'm
Dubu wabbit yubu neebid. Babbit. Labadab labit noble help. Noble mobber. And they walk away.
sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Everyone who's in chat saying, Trisha, why did you make me watch that again? But we did get some amazing puns in chat out of it. Dr. Sparks, Lily Dumblestuck fan says, it's amazing how this incident caused the salvage manders to clam up. Huh? And also, Dasmir says, Civ didn't have enough muscle. Huh? Huh? Come on, pretty good, pretty good. I always appreciate a good pun. I'm never gonna be mad at that. Dr. Sparks says, did Ron have any idea what was about to happen when they killed the clam?
I don't think any of us had any idea what was about to happen.
No.
I mean, clams are things we eat. We literally had just eaten one the night before, right? Like, or
You don't have to defend yourself to me.
No. I mean, that's what I feel bad about the fake clam, guys. I feel bad about the fake clam. Okay.
Yeah, people eat clams.
I feel people
They
eat
do.
clams.
They do. Katie, as you listen to Civ and Ugo's antics with the clam unfold, what were you thinking? I mean, it seemed like you were a little amused by the silliness, but then did you actually think Civ's life was in danger? Like, what went through your mind watching it unfold?
Well, I didn't think either of them were going to, like, die, I guess. So it was, those things are intense. So I guess that maybe should have crossed my mind more than it did. It was very silly until it was heartbreaking.
Yeah.
And then when they came back, I was upset at them. But like, I mean, Lily upset, but disappointed, you know?
Which is sometimes far worse.
Oh yeah, it's
Right?
like when
Like-
your parents say, "I'm not mad,
Yeah,
I'm disappointed."
It's like,
Yeah, that's how Lily felt. It was definitely like a disappointment moment.
Yep.
Like,
But, I mean, watching it unfold, it was easy to see how Ugo did what Ugo
Yes.
did.
Yeah, of course.
So, Ron, Ugo didn't hesitate to jump in to help Civ, but of course it led to a huge turn of events that impacted the entire party. In this instance, how did Ugo's willingness to help backfire on him, and what might Ugo have done differently knowing what he knows now?
Well, knowing what he knows now, he probably knows that the clam wasn't attacking Civ.
Got it.
So when you're enraged, because he was raging to try to break open the thing.
Sure.
It flipped and attacked him. It didn't occur to Uggo that was Uggo's bad, and he just needed to pick the clam up and move it.
Right.
That was the clam doesn't like what we're doing to it, now kill Civ. So, okay, now you die. So that's just a normal, literally have done that the whole game. So now that he knows differently, it would be like, oh, okay, maybe don't smash it, just throw it across the room.
Right. Which could maybe smash it or
But that's
not.
a little different than purposefully breaking the thing.
A little different.
Purposefully skewering it.
Right.
J-Man Ray says, man, that episode was pretty deep, Reef.
I get it.
I like it. It's my favorite.
We talked about that. Every time he says deep reef, it sounds like he's saying
Debrief.
I'm like, wow.
All right, we need to go to the debrief.
Debrief.
Where?
Okay, so what
Is that
debriefing?
like the new name for the secret room, maybe?
The debrief.
The debrief.
The deep reef.
I love that.
Nice.
The debrief in the deep reef.
The deep reef.
Very good.
A debrief.
A deep reef debrief. Nice.
Perfect. Okay, guys, describe your reactions to the king's dismissal. So other than banishment, what reprimand, if any, did you expect from the Salvagemanders?
Oh gosh. I mean, I think you saw our reactions were very real last week because none of us were expecting that to happen. And Jeff went so earnest and sad that
we were all laughing. Everyone thought it was funny.
We were laughing, and then it was truly heartbreaking.
Yeah, Jeff brought gravitas to the situation, right? Like we hadn't, and he even said it afterwards, he was like, I didn't plan that. It was just all of a sudden it occurred to me that these creatures that glorify the
we don't break,
building
we
of
make
things, we make things,
Yeah.
then this would be a super huge problem.
That's their prize.
Right.
That's the whole Nitro
Right.
centered around that. Yeah, I mean, it was heartbreaking, and they are also the most generous, sweet, hospitable.
Right.
They saved our lives. They took us in. They didn't ask us any questions. You know.
They snuggled Uggo.
Yeah, right.
Yep.
And that's some of that some of that emotion was real raw emotion, where it was almost like Jeff caught me in a kid moment, where it's like I'm just having a good time, and then all of a sudden, oh, there's consequences to things that I didn't think of because I was just having a good moment and didn't realize oh, right, this stuff might actually have some impact. And that's a gift. When a DM gives that to you, that's a gift.
Yeah.
Right? And so I just turned it into what I feel this way. I'm sure Uggo would feel this way. So now it becomes a way to move forward with Uggo in a way.
Well, that's the old actor adage, use it or lose it.
Right.
So if you're feeling something strong, you either have to figure out a way to move past it or channel it into your art.
Right.
Yeah. Well, also, the tricky thing about that was that we all at the table saw what happened, obviously.
Yeah.
Like, Katie saw what happened. But we, Fahima, James, and Lily did not.
Right.
We just saw the aftermath. And I think there probably would be more understanding had they been there at what had happened.
For sure.
But all we saw was they snuck off, they smashed this precious clam, and got us banished from the island. And not got us banished, that's not what I think was upsetting, was that obviously hurt the feelings, hurt these people that had been so lovely. So lovely to us.
Right.
And it felt like that must have taken a lot, because they were so kind of these hippies on a floating piece of garbage.
It kind of did take a lot, but it also kind of didn't take a lot. Because you thought they were these super happy, kind, generous hippies, and then all of a sudden they were like, oh, you went too far. Done. We don't want to hear it. Right. No apologizing.
Right.
Done.
Which is a real, for Uggo, that's a real learning opportunity, right? That's new to him.
Yeah.
It's always been, one of Uggo's greatest fears is being seen as the monster, right? That's why he kills monsters. He doesn't want to be the monster.
Right.
And so now you have a real situation in which a creature that Uggo cannot explain away as a monster, looking at him as a monster.
Yeah.
And so now this is a heavy thing because you can't explain that away.
Right.
It'll be a great chapter in your textbook, Becoming Human.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Where
Becoming human.
Uggo teaches a course on humanity.
On humanity, on what it means to be a human being.
Or Oops, I Did It Again. A textbook by
Uggo. Katie, why was refuge with the Salvagemanders so important to Lily?
I mean, gosh, I think anyone who takes people in has a special place in Lily's heart. they took us in, they didn't know who we were. We were literally on fire, which could have been a terrifying thing to see, but they helped us out. They took my family in, no questions asked. They were hospitality, which is...
That's what Bingle does.
Which is what Bingle does. They were the epitome of that.
Good Samaritan.
Yeah, they just were, they didn't need a reason to save us. They did it just out of the goodness of their heart, and that is Lily's love language.
So it almost seemed like Lily was more upset with the consequences of what happened than with what happened, whereas I would say Fahima got super upset about what happened to the clam. Why do you think Fahima's reaction was what it was for both of you?
Well, Fahima has a very special place in her heart for any monster, creature. Anything you need.
Sure.
Yeah. And I think as she said before, like, she feels like she identifies with those monsters, those creatures that are unique as one of them. And so anytime one gets killed, she felt like that could have been her. That's how it affects her.
Got it.
So that's super,
Yeah.
you know.
Which I love too, because it sets a dichotomy, right? To Uggo's same thing, which is his obsession with monsters is kill them. Her obsession with monsters is understand them. And that's going to forever be a thing where they meet here. So, but that's just good, right? They can learn from each other. There are some monsters, you can't know anything about them until they're dead. Because if they're alive, they will kill you.
Like an owlbear?
Right, like an owlbear, for example. So I think she was upset because this is a special creature in which there's not really any danger, or at least that she can foresee or anyone can see. And so I think that's a special, unique case where this one, we didn't necessarily have to say Hamlet or anything.
Yeah, it was an unnecessary.
Right, completely unnecessary.
And I think, yes, and so that, she's upset about that. Lily's not upset about that, but Lily's upset about the dismissal of what we know is important to these people.
Right.
You know, we know that this is their prized possession. We went to the night drift. We know that, and they took us in, and it's very disrespectful to deface it.
Why do you think they were so unwilling to hear an apology from you guys? It seemed like everything was going so well.
Yeah. That struck me as a little strange.
Yeah.
I don't know why that's the case, but I've also met individuals where, like, they have lines, and if you cross them, that's it.
I don't think, to me it was like, they're a non-confrontational bunch, and that is like their God, kind of, in a way. And rather than, they're not gonna have it out with you, they're just gonna be like, you need to go.
That's it.
You're not, you don't belong with us anymore. We've seen that you don't respect, like, we gave you everything, and.
Like maybe they are now second guessing how easily they took in a group of strangers.
Maybe.
Because we don't know how often they do that. I would guess that they're probably not like Bingle and that they're constantly bringing in new visitors.
It's definitely it's not a resort.
Right.
Garbage island.
The Wookiee King says, now what did you guys think the clam was going to produce when you first tried?
Uggo.
Didn't even occur to Uggo what it might produce, other than Civ says there's gold inside. So, okay, gold. So really, that's really what Uggo thought was gold that Civ wanted.
Yeah, just helping out Civ.
That's right.
Zabin the Cyndaquil says Fahima is a druid at heart. Maybe that explains her love of creatures. Patiris Stormblade says, here lies Calamity Jane. She was a clam with acid reflux. And I love this one from Sir Gage. The clam's dead. He's cold and clammy. He led a shellfish life.
Oh.
Sir Gage, well done.
Sir Gage, well done.
Well done, Sir Gage.
So well done. All right, watchers and runners, make sure that you are adding your thoughts and questions to tonight's chat. Not only may I share them on the stream live with Katie and Ron, but all of your contributions could earn you a nice piece of Dungeon Run swag. So right now, let's go ahead and take a look at Uggo pen an emotional apology with Lily's help. I wonder how hard it would be to get tiny T-shirts.
Somebody help me write words.
Yes, of course.
Uggo, sorry.
I'm writing.
I don't know if I have ever thought of not destroying something as a solution. I don't think that's ever not been an option for me. A lot of lights or salvage mans teach Uggo something,
Right.
which is destruction sometimes should not be a choice. Should be active to go around it, to not search for destruction. That is new to me.
It's new to, I think, most of us.
The reason I destroy things is because that's what I've been taught. And a clam is something you eat. It did not make any sense to me that I should think about a clam as it is a person. That does not make any sense.
We learn.
It was not like I was cracking your head.
It's fine.
It is not. It is not fine.
All you can do is learn.
Tell them that.
I know.
They now think Uggo is the thing that Uggo don't want to be.
Uggo, I have to admit that I'm not happy with what you did. Sorry.
I did not mean it.
I know. But you knew that was something very special to them. Just say you're sorry,
I already say that.
In
That's
the
what I led
notes?
with.
and I'll say I'm sorry. I'm sure Sid will say he's sorry.
Cannot always rely on you to make fixes for Uggo's mistakes. I need to learn.
But you are learning. You said you did learn.
That's why we have Hamlet.
What I'm
after all.
saying, Uggo, is we say we're sorry, and then we try our best to get them another one of those big clams and bring it back to them someday. Because
Sometime.
that is a repayment. And I think we can do that.
So many feels. Ron, you were literally in tears.
Yeah, I literally was in tears, yeah.
So you said that it hit you that way as Ron, and so
Yeah.
you used it as Uggo. Why do you think it hit
Yeah.
you so hard as Ron?
My childhood.
Okay.
Yeah, just a lot of moments like that. Caught off guard by, oh, I didn't, what,
Sure.
that's a thing that I should be worried about, or, you know? And so it's even afterwards, I struggle a little bit with that, just the recollection of those kind of moments. Because my moments, they weren't healthy reflections of what you shouldn't do. They were just like, here's the thing that this person decided I shouldn't do, and because I did it in the moment they decided it, now I have to worry about it.
Sure.
So taking that energy and using that is what I have found helps a lot in dealing with it, my personal self, but also in giving the moment similar enough to give it gravitas.
Yeah. Yeah. And Vorko Sagan in chat says, Lily, the disappointed mother, cuts to the bone with the niceness. Do you think about that when you are, when you are portraying Lily, that sometimes Lily can come across as like the mom, and in not just a sweet, loving, caring way, but also a kind of like, I'm real disappointed in you, Lily way?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's how Lily shows her frustration and her anger, basically. She really sees the best in people and wants to see the best in people, and knows that when her emotions are high, that maybe she's not thinking as rationally as she should be, so she tries to like calm herself down by talking that way.
Yeah.
I think of like, okay, I'm not gonna yell at you because that's not gonna do anything. But it's like she's almost talking out her emotions, I guess, that way.
And what I really appreciate is Lily is also often when things get emotional, like, okay, we can get past this and talk about it later. And Uggo is like, no, we have to talk about these things. And that's such a great, it's such a great way to play off of you sometimes, because I think it's really a way for Lily to grow as well, where Lily can learn like, okay, some fights you do have to have.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to stick it and actually have the fight to learn.
Yeah.
And Uggo needs to learn that sometimes just let it go. It's okay to just do wrong and breathe.
and then we'll
right,
talk about
right.
it.
And
I don't
it's
know if
okay.
Lily or Uggo have gotten that lesson yet.
We have not.
Yeah.
Well, and some of it is because by the time we're like, okay, we'll talk about it, it's like, okay, now a whole nother thing that we forget what happened. And
Right.
Yep.
Well, you haven't had time to deal with
Right,
it.
right.
And it's true. It's the very confrontational versus the not confrontational, trying to make sense of it all and learn from their mistakes.
Right.
Brandon Nerd says, Ron makes me cry like every week lately, which I agree. area with. And the Alan Varmir says, wisdom of Uggo is otherworldly. He is always open to learn. And that's part of why I always love chatting with you guys on the rundown, because we get to see what was going on in your minds behind the scenes and what led to these amazing moments that we got to watch in the episode. So thank you, everybody, for bringing that up. On YouTube, in the comments, Sword Squire commented, dang it, Uggo, why'd you make me cry? No, seriously, I am straight legit shedding tears here. Ron, please explain what was weighing so heavily on Uggo. So you had said what is weighing so heavily on Ron, and that Uggo felt kind of chastised.
Yes.
But we've seen Uggo be chastised before without breaking
Absolutely,
into tears.
absolutely. And it's really the interaction with Fahima that triggers him, right? Because it's a clam. Why does anyone care about a clam? We eat them, we literally imbibed them the night before. Why does anyone care about a clam? And that's really what Uggo is struggling with. Like, am I insane? Am I the only one who realizes that clams get eaten every day? And like, do you get upset about all the destruction of clams everywhere? And it was Fahima who made it clear, which is, you are now a monster, Uggo. In Uggo's words to him, you're a monster. And that thing, that Bleebaloob, or what his name? Bleebaloob, thank you, just essentially said those words to him.
Yeah.
And his whole thing has been, that's why I'm here, to get away from that. I have been a monster for so long. I've been told that that's all, Uggo's been told that's all he can be. Now he's got to be that thing that isn't the monster. And his whole point is like, James even asked him, what do you want, Uggo? What is it that you want? I want to be human. Now, he's already human for what, he doesn't know that. He's already kind of a human person, right?
Sure.
The whole group says, you got a heart that's huge, like better than some humans that we know. But to him, that's not it. To him, it's what other people see.
Right.
Not what he is inside. Uggo knows what he is inside. He's inside himself. He's the only one who knows who Uggo is. It's that others don't see what Uggo sees. And he's constantly battling that, well, this is an orc and these things are ugly. And I mean, think about it. An orc who can bathe in blood one moment and then cry about a clam in the next has got something going on.
Well, yeah, it seems like you're incredibly tortured. And, I wonder in your background if there's been a time that Uggo may have tried just embracing the monster, or have you always been fighting it?
I think we will find that out.
Ooh, okay. I love it. Yay, we hit on something. Dungeon Rundown exclusive.
Also, Embracing the Monster is another good book.
Oh yeah, Embracing the Monster. What I've Done Wrong by Uggo.
Acknowledging the monster within. So it's like the Salvagemander said to you, Uggo, you've acted like a monster. But when Fahima doubled down, it was like, you've acted like a monster.
I'm disappointed in you, and this is
real.
like, okay, this is not just some thing that doesn't know the world, and therefore this is the most precious thing. There's another individual who's seen the world and seen what's gone on, and they're the ones that go in that you did bad. And it's like, well, now his world's crashing.
Well, and you have your trust with the group, and the group knows you and knows when to, for the most part, people are pretty
understanding of when I choose to.
and know how to be like, okay, I see why you did that, but here's
especially after we saw Uggo almost collapse from killing Whitebeard, when that is a person that he eventually realized, I should want to kill this person. And the fact that it happened to accidentally crushed him. So then to have Fahima kind of yell at him when she knows how weightful he takes life into consideration was, I think, kind of the drive for that, right? And that's why he was like, I'm talking to you. This is not about them anymore. You have made this about us now.
So we understand that Uggo wants to be a good person, but it's interesting to me that you keep using the term to become human when we have examples of humans like Whitebeard.
Correct. So I think it's a lot of, and again, this is part of where Uggo comes from, and I think we'll discover that as we go on. Uggo says human, he means good person.
Okay.
Because when he says monster, he's even said, like, Whitebeard's a monster.
Whitebeard's a monster.
But he's not a monster, he's a human being. It's not a monster like as the colloquial term means. So for him, I think we're starting to learn that when he says monster, he means person who doesn't take others into account.
Right.
And those are, I think, in real life, monsters.
And here's a real hot seat from Sean Patrick. Says, Uggo understands that people value things. The we eat clams is a dodge. How accurate is that?
It might be more, I don't know if that's a dodge so much as it is, that's more intelligence than it is wisdom, right? And knowing the value of things is more of a thing you learn, that you're taught, rather than something that you
Got it.
inherently learn.
Yeah, intelligence versus wisdom.
Correct.
That is
So, right, and so in that case, in that moment, it was my decision that Uggo doesn't understand the value of a clam in terms of monetary, right? He doesn't care about gold. Like he gives 1,500 gold to somebody when you can get it for probably half that, if not less. Because to him, money is a thing you count and that smart people use.
And he may have not picked up on the fact that the salvage menders value this clam.
Correct.
I had a DM
Because
once,
we eat them.
Yeah, I had a DM once describe to me the difference between intelligence and wisdom is intelligence is knowing it's raining outside when wisdom is using an umbrella because of it.
Right.
And those are two very different things.
I know what poison oak is. I can know not to eat that plant with those red berries.
Right.
I don't know its scientific name.
Right, sure.
What it might cause if you eat it. I don't know those things. I just know that's a thing we don't eat.
Don't eat that.
Deer don't eat that, so maybe we should.
Right, wisdom.
Right.
There you go.
As opposed to, that is poison oak. Deer eat it because it causes them to get stomach flu, you know, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I spend most of my life thinking like, would a deer do this or would a deer not do this? That's how I like get through things.
That's
What would deer do?
Yeah, what would deer do?
Is what your
What would deer
bracelet
do?
says.
Yeah.
Totally.
WWDD.
I have run in front of a few cars.
Don't do
Squirrels
that.
touching nothing?
Let's increase your wisdom stat on your next level
Little
up
bit.
and not run out in
Little
front of cars. That'd be great. So Katie, Uggo told Lily that he didn't want to always rely on her help. Was that like a little bit stinging when you heard that? Because I feel like Lily always steps up for Uggo. So did it come in a way that felt not appreciative or make Lily think about her actions?
I think Lily, it will make her think about things if it comes up again when he's calmer. But there's a certain level of Uggo where I think Lily's learned, like, he's gonna say things right now that he doesn't necessarily mean.
Sure.
And so I think we all sometimes when we're upset, it's human nature, you say like really hurtful things sometimes.
Yeah.
And later you're like, whoops, that was.
And sometimes you don't even, like, in fact, Ron hadn't even considered that that's how it would be taken until you just said it just now.
Yeah.
Didn't even consider it to me, because for me, Uggo is saying, you help, but relying on you all the time is weakness,
Sure.
right? Relying on you and and guarantee, you know, always expecting you to get me out of trouble or anyone to get you out of trouble is, in Uggo's view, weakness. So teach me, but then once you're done teaching me, leave me be so that I can learn the thing.
Yeah.
Gotta do it in order to learn.
But even explained that way, it's still a like step off.
Right, I mean, it is, but that's an
Yeah.
orc, right?
Sure.
That's an orc. You gotta understand he's still an orc. At the end of the
Sure.
day, love in orc is not, let me coddle you and keep you safe. Love in orc is,
You and I are gonna face this together forever.
Right.
that's love.
You've never talked to Lily like
I have not. But there's also, Uggo has never talked to Lily that way, but there's also a bit of the part that Lily and Uggo still have not been able to get to that point where we've been able to have the conversation.
Right.
Where we can even say like, Lily, I don't know if you understand what I mean when I say that I love you.
Okay, so this brings up my next question, is that Uggo throws around the L word a lot. And is it that Lily steps up and puts herself out there for Uggo all the time because she feels the same way?
Oh, I don't know about that. I think
Okay.
that Lily and Uggo immediately were friends when we first joined the group.
Yeah.
And quickly we're just like bonded and we have like skill sets that complement each other perfectly, basically. And I think that is how Lily thinks about it, because I don't think the note that Uggo gave
Yeah.
Lily did not come off to Lily like a love note.
Okay.
And it was an orc, so she doesn't know what it says.
Right.
You know?
But Lily's
And-
not thinking like, I'm stepping out to help Uggo all the time because I love him. She's thinking because we're really close friends.
I mean, I think I love everyone in the group, but in,
Sure.
in a platonic way versus
Sure.
like a romantic way. I don't think that is how Lily has viewed their relationship yet. Well, who knows?
Yeah, right. And
I don't
that
think
goes
so.
back to the whole conversation we have where there are still things that we haven't resolved.
You had that
were-
one awkward conversation.
Right.
How many episodes
And
ago?
half of it was an orc, which she doesn't even understand.
So to me, it wasn't awkward. It was just
The,
like,
on- and I- the only one who knows any of that is Sid.
Is Sim!
who also, him and
Correct.
I are due a conversation.
Yes.
He wrote me like a poem
I know.
like a week and a half ago.
There's a little bit of like Cyrano de Bergerac going on in there, and I like it.
Yeah. I definitely think there's a lot of things that could happen, but
Right.
it has been such an insane adventure that, like, how
There's
do you
been too
even-
much going on to stop and think about feelings.
There
Right.
hasn't been a lot of time to be like, oh gosh, I really love the way his bun sits on top of his head. You know, like it's just like we haven't had that moment.
But Tyra Stormblade says, does
I do,
Lily,
in real
does Lily even comprehend that Siv and Uggo are interested in her romantically? Like, is that even something that's on her radar?
Yeah, Lily's.
Okay.
Lily worked at a bar and
Right.
has been proposed to
Oh.
many a time.
So she gets it.
She gets it. But Lily also, I don't know if I really talked about this on the show. This is Lily, maybe we talked about this, but Lily worked at a place where people came for 2 weeks and then they leave.
Yeah.
They come on vacation, so Lily's family is her family, and everyone who comes to Bingle is there for 2 weeks. They're your best friend because they're on vacation and they're drinking and we're hospitable and Bingle's fun, but then they're gone.
Right.
So Lily has learned, like, her love, romantic love, hasn't existed in that way. People come and propose, and to her it's like, you don't mean that. You're gonna leave. You're gonna be on that boat in 2 weeks because you're gonna be done. So she has a little bit, I think maybe that's where Lily is a little jaded.
Well, and
You know, like,
And when Uggo pour out his devoting love, saying that I will be you until the day I die, she was unconscious.
yep.
and I mean, you guys are in the middle of such a crazy adventure right now. Who knows who's going to survive past the next
We all
episode?
could be dead in a day or two.
Sure.
So some of that is, I'm telling you now because, I'm telling you that now because we could be dead in a day or two.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Whereas Katie's like, or Lily's like, I can't get involved with you because you might be dead in a
The
day
day or
or
two.
two.
I know you're gonna leave, you're gonna get on a boat. I think Civ, she does know that
Okay.
he's been pretty clear.
And all like,
in the poems
nosing up to
and-
your family. and-
Yeah, and I think like she definitely sees it, but again, this is how because I thought about this, I was like, how does Lily view this? But she's worked on an island where any romantic, even if she felt anything for the people that did flirt with her at a bar, most of them she didn't, but they left,
Yeah.
so she's a little like, there's a wall there where she's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Abandonment issues.
Yeah, kind of, romantically. Not with her family, family's
right,
great,
right,
but
yeah.
yeah, she's never really had anyone who's professed her love to her
And then stuck around.
and then stay.
Well, and then just even more complicating things with the love triangle, then it's, you don't want to drive a wedge in the group or something like that. And Civ has talked about that on previous Dungeon Rundowns as well.
It's tricky.
It is tricky. I love J-Man Ray says, Lily has no time for love when the world's ending. Respect. I appreciate that. So, okay, let's jump back into last week's episode. Jeff had us mesmerized yet again, adding the flock to his repertoire. What was going through your mind when you first heard Jeff describe these creatures and use that voice? What vibes were the flock giving you guys?
It was like a really intense Dr. Seuss book in my mind.
Okay, how so?
Like the description of those birds is so Seussian to me because they're like 4 legs and bright colors, and it just felt
Yep.
like the Lorax meets
Could see that.
D&D.
Definitely could see that.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. That was kind of my initial like.
For me, I got a
pictures.
Grease vibe.
Like Like the musical?
Yeah, like a Grease vibe. You gotta give us something. Come on, Shandy, give us something so we can
what
go.
it's like,
you know?
yeah, like Seuss meets West Side
Yeah,
Story.
right. Seuss meets West Side Story. Yeah, like this is the Jets. You know, right? Yeah, that's exactly.
Because he did describe them like motorcycles.
Yeah, and it
That's
was
what
like
you're
they got
thinking, like,
jackets on and they're the big old Harleys.
Oh yeah,
like,
the Carson.
hop on your bird, let's
Yeah,
go.
let's go.
The Carson
Not a
said
hog.
it was like watching an episode of The Sopranos.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
The Sopranos go camping.
Striker U4N says Mad Max and Thunderdome.
Oh, yeah?
I was getting Mad Max vibes.
Yeah, there was
Okay,
definitely some
for
Mad
sure,
Max.
for sure. I like that I chose Dr. Seuss. This is very Lily choice. Children's book.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I mean, but still good children's books
Yes.
that have
Also,
a lot
some
more
of them
deeper
are,
meaning.
Some of
than-
them are full on just adult.
Yeah.
Have you guys listened to the podcast or watched that part back in the episode yet once music's been added?
No.
Oh, you are in for a treat. I'm not going to spoil it.
Cool.
But
Thank
go back and watch that.
That's always a treat, honestly, to go back and listen to the music. It really adds that cherry
It
on
does,
top.
though.
You are in for a treat. Okay, so let's talk about Civ again for a second. Civ walked right into the center of trouble when all this was going down, issuing an ultimatum and offering the 250 gold coins that he was trying to get rid of the entire episode. Aside from the guilt about the Savage Manders, why do you think that Civ was so inclined to step up to the flock and like put himself in danger in front of all you guys? Was it just the need to get rid of the coins, or do you think it was something else?
I think Civ struggles with feeling also like a bad person or a bad.
He's tortured as well.
He's tortured in the sense that he feels like he's a little broken sometimes, I think. Like he's got sneaky tendencies and he's, thrifty.
Gets Uggo to smash a shell and then gets him kicked off an island.
And I think Uggo and Civ are really similar in that way where they have these kind of tortured past, these troubled past, and everything around that you both take so personally and it's a fresh wound still. Even though it's been your whole life, it's still just this open wound that you feel it's vulnerable. And so I think a lot of times Civ, since we're talking about him, repays his guilt in a way of like a selfless act and like what can I do to just like I'll die for this group because I'm worthless.
Right. PH Mike 5 says it was the coins and maybe he wanted to be punished.
I think there's a little bit of that. I think you hit a nail on the head there. It's a little bit of, because even Uggo had that a bit where it's like, well, I just caused something problematic. Maybe I should go hurt myself a little bit in ways of like, I'm going to throw myself on this particular bad guy.
Right.
As a way to make up for the problems that he just just had. And I think there's a little bit of that where Civ's going, well, I just caused a problem. Let me solve this one.
Also, we know that Civ, having the background that he has, may have some kind of special in or negotiating tactics with them, and maybe he just wanted to stop some of the violence, as Corvus Windhelm says, or Lily Dumblestuck fan says Civ just thought it was easier to not kill and just bribe away.
Yeah.
Well, and I think especially after, given what had just happened prior to that, I think that's, again, another spot-on idea because the first thing, if you just killed something that didn't need to be killed and you're feeling bad about it, the first thing you want to do is go and try to solve a problem without killing something.
Yeah.
So you can go, look, I'm not always a monster.
And you're surrounded by all the people who are like, why did you kill that thing?
Right.
And then you're not gonna walk in and be like, Shank.
I mean, it was almost like that because, hey, James, got time for more?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And it's interesting with this party, too, because a lot of times if one of you goes and puts yourself in danger's way, the entire rest of the party will try to intervene and get involved so that you can all kind of take it. But in this moment, why do you feel like it was important to let Civ go do that?
I think we didn't have a lot of information. I think we all knew, like, these guys seem not great, but we don't know how. They hadn't killed this woman. They hadn't, it hadn't been escalated to a point where we were like, we need to,
And they were
stab some
negotiating
people.
with her.
They were
so-
negotiating, and they were asking for money,
Right.
which I think Civ had, and he keeps our money. So we were, I think, all kind of like, is this gonna solve it?
Yeah.
Because if so, great.
Well, and you were protecting your mom at that point too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You had a little bit more important things to worry about than what was going on. And I think Uggo was more of just like, oh well, this is Siv's expertise. This is what he does.
Yep.
If it gets to wounds and war, then that'll be my expertise.
Siv
and we'll be good.
Is charming. Like
Yeah,
he has the
absolutely.
ability to
Very
go in
charming.
there and talk to them
Yep.
and woo them. And
Right.
And I feel like, isn't that a little bit of a flashback to Siv saying, let me make this pirate deal? And back then, Uggo was like, no, you will not make
Right.
this pirate deal. Maybe Uggo learned a lesson?
Well, for sure, right? Uggo is learning from Siv. And I think there's a part of Siv that can learn from Uggo. Siv's intelligent, but
Right.
not that wise. Uggo's not intelligent, but quite wise.
But quite wise.
So I think if they start to communicate more and
Yeah.
really, and there was sometimes I wish we really had recorded the first one, because there was a part in that particular.
every week.
There's
We
every
all
week,
wish
yeah.
you would record
Every
So,
week on this one
so
said,
I'll,
I wish we had.
I'll be descriptive about what actually happened. So there was a river in which Uggo fell down the side of the river and couldn't get out, and he was the only one down there, and all the rest of them literally could have just left. Uggo's trapped in a part of a cave where he can't climb back up and can't get around because it's all crushed in, and so he starts to freak out a little bit because he doesn't know these people. We just all came here because there was a sign on the wall, and all of a sudden the first thing that happens is Uggo gets into a situation he can't get himself out of, and it was Siv that climbed down there, helped him look, then saw a place that was a lot of rocks that only Uggo could really pick up the rocks and move them. And he knew that was going to take a long time. And that for a couple of minutes, I forgot how long we were down there, they got to share stories. And it was the first time that Uggo actually got to share with any of them that where he came from and why he thinks that or starting to show a little bit of like, you showed to me sacrifice. So I want to now tell you that you're important and I'm important because you've done a thing that you could have just left. And
That's
if
awesome.
you had left, I would be dead. So now, even though that may not have been what he meant to do or was thinking about when it happened, that's what it meant to Uggo. And so we didn't get to see that moment. And since then, we haven't really had many moments like that. So for the audience, they just see that Siv and Uggo are battle buddies and good at battle together. But there's moments that they've already shared where almost immediately it was Siv that he got closest to. And if you look at the group, he's probably going to relate to Siv the most because Siv is the closest to what he looks like than the others, right? A gnome looks like a gnome. You have a human and you've got for all intents, look like a human to him. And the only other one that doesn't look human in some way was Siv. And that was the one who climbed down and saved him. And that, I think, is the part of Siv that we're starting to get a more sense of, where he's got this dark, clouded, tortured past, just like Uggo, but he's wanting to do good, and he's finding like he's got friends, and so maybe it's worth sticking my neck out for my friends.
Totally, and now thank you for making us all infinitely even more jealous that we did not get to experience episode 0.
Sorry. Well, I got to share it with you. If
Yeah.
I could keep it a secret. I could totally keep it. Yeah, I mean.
We do appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for sharing those stories, and we only hope to get more of them as the rundown continues. Watchers, we are now moments away from the end of this week's Dungeon Rundown, and someone's awesome comment is going to earn them a shirt. So don't lose your chance at some swag. Make sure that you keep posting in chat. The group had a heavy dose of the giggles last game. How hard is it to stay in character during the game with so many funny random moments happening all around the table?
Hard.
I mean, we are legitimately amongst some of the funniest people that I've ever had the pleasure of being around. Katie legitimately cracks me up every day, and it's a wonderful thing. Even outside of this work, like just being a part of her life, she cracks me up all the time. And I think I find it's easy. It's harder for me to stay in character when we're all having fun and the situation in game is light, and it's much easier for me to stay in character when it's heavy and there's an emotional weight to it. But I think there's also kind of like a general, like when the group is having fun, we're allowed to break character a little bit.
It's fun to watch.
It's fun to watch us break character a little bit, and but it has been my goal for a long time to try to get everyone to laugh at least once even if it's just a throw-off line, and I get Jeff the most with just like mispronouncing names or, these random things that are just Uggo being dumb, and I get Jeff sometimes because I hear him.
Not dumb.
Well, yes, low intelligence.
Yes. I feel like Jessica probably had the giggles more than anyone, and I think she even broke Jeff a few times.
Last week she had such intense giggles and it was making me laugh so hard because she just did the voice that surprised herself, I think, and it was just so funny. And then she tried to keep doing it, and it was great.
Yeah.
It was great. Jeff makes me laugh all the time.
Just his voices sometimes.
Yeah.
Just the introduction, and he introduces them with such class, right? Like it's not like a listen to this voice. It's very much just here's what's going on in the story, here's the gravitas of it, and it's just like, especially when you did Whitebeard and James's
Patron?
not the patron because I haven't heard that voice.
Oh, the guy at the library.
His dad.
Yes.
His dad.
Yeah.
Especially that one. The forward in the
his
mouth.
whole face changes.
It almost looked in a point where he said this man was overweight, and it was like Jeff kind of all of a sudden came a little overweight by the way he was presenting the voice. And for me to see that in person, you guys get to see it on camera, but to be there in front of it every time, it's just like.
It's live theater at its finest.
No,
It's
really
magic.
Is.
It's really magic.
It really is magic.
I think I say this every time I'm on here. But Jeff is amazing. I
is.
do not know how
Right.
he keeps track of all those voices.
Don't either.
And how he embodies the characters so quickly and so beautifully. It seems so easy. I was trying to do that flippin' Beebaloo voice for so long. No,
Yep.
I cannot do it.
Yeah, Branded Nerd says Jeff has too much talent for one man, and I think we can all agree on that,
I agree.
right?
Too much.
Too much. Share some.
Yeah,
and
right.
actually you do. You share it weekly. Thank you. We love you. So with just a few minutes left in tonight's Dungeon Rundown, you only have just a little bit of time left to post your swag-worthy comments while you can. While you type your best comments, watch Uggo and the bartender, the hot bartender, seal the deal for Lily's family travel in blood now.
You said that nothing comes here anymore because the trade route is broken. Does anything leave?
Does anything leave?
Can anyone leave from the ports here?
Well, there's not ports, but yeah, sure, people have been leaving constantly. There are very few of us staying behind.
If I had someone important that I needed to get out of the city.
Then you needed...
Transportation.
Oh. I'm sure you could. You got coin. I'm sure you could find somebody to do that. In fact, I think I could find somebody for you. You got enough of it.
Somebody
Trustworthy.
to trust? Yeah.
How do we know we can trust you?
Can we put down a deposit or something?
You want to give me gold right now? I happily
I
take it.
just want to secure your services.
No one else is going to ask for my services, sweetheart.
He'll do it. Trust me. If he wants the money.
Yeah. You know what? The problem with this place is there's no honor anymore. So I tell you what. I will honor that agreement if you bring me my asking price. All right?
You will have to.
You have your word on that?
Yes.
You got my word.
You will share blood with me then.
Sorry, go ahead.
Pull out a dagger and cut my hand open. No. I have your money.
You want my blood now?
Yes.
Now you do fit into the new Winkberg, don't you? All right, friend.
Hair down, blood out. Everyone winced on set when you did that, and I love that that's how in the moment everybody was. And that's what I meant by seal the deal, chat, with your dirty minds. Everyone thinking about the hot bartender. All right, the last couple of episodes of the Dungeon Run had some huge moments for Uggo, as we've been talking about all night. Ron, do you predict, what do you predict is on the horizon for Uggo, considering what he's just gone through?
I think Uggo's probably in the best place he's ever been in his life. which is saying something considering we're following a chaotic amulet across the world to save things that we don't know if are good or bad.
Yeah.
So that's
Pretty
saying something.
fun.
It's still pretty fun. I think, and that's where it comes down to, right? He's an orc. It comes to the tribe. It comes back to the tribe. And so anything that's in, what I think Uggo feels finally is that anything that's in store for Uggo is in store for his family.
Okay.
And that, I think, is the best feeling he's got so far, despite, in the last episode, threatening to leave if they don't want to go.
Right.
But that's also because Uggo hasn't really thought about how far that is, really. And so once he's made aware that it's that far, he probably will go, whoa, then I need help finding a portal somewhere. So it's gonna, in the end, it's one of those where his ancestors have told him things are happening. In the first ever in his life, they speak to him openly.
Yeah.
And the first ever in anyone's existence, ancestors are summoned by rage and speak to the people around him.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty heavy.
Yeah,
And that makes
for
it
sure.
pretty clear what's important. And so I think that's Uggo's biggest concern, is that they're gonna do like we always do, which is forget what's important or forget what's on our minds
Right.
and what's the most important. And he's guilty of that, as any of them are.
But trying to keep him on track. All right, and Katie, the party finally made it to Preet. What are you anticipating learning about Winkberg now that you're at its gates?
Oh gosh, I don't even know. Honestly, I think what's on top of Lily's mind is getting to Winkberg and figuring out what's going on, but also figuring out how I can get my family home. Like that is my top
Well,
priority.
that's been figured out, right?
Well, kind of. I don't think she's gonna feel good. Hot bartender was still a little sketchy. Like, he was hot.
We
but
were
don't
just
know if we
talking
can trust
about
him.
during that segment that how sad is it that he's hot bartender only
know.
because he's sketchy and
Right,
aloof?
and
What is
dismissive,
that
yeah.
societal
Right,
commentary
yeah,
right
yep,
there?
yep.
It's upsetting. Anyway, I think Lily wants to trust him. She sees the best in everyone. She sees a twinkle in his eye that he's good, deep down. But I don't think until her family is sent off and she feels like she gets a message that they're home safe, she's gonna feel fully focused.
For sure.
Sure.
Just because I think she feels a lot of responsibility to get them back home right now.
Yeah. Yeah, I get it.
Not a great place for 3 of your sisters and your mom to be tagging along on an adventure.
Well, and I don't know about you guys, but like even when my friends get in the car, I'm like, text me when you get home.
Yeah.
So it's that, but like a million times worse.
Yeah.
Yeah, yep. I definitely can feel
Absolutely.
that. I constantly tell the way that Rowan and I do it is like, don't die,
Yeah, don't die.
don't die. That's our goodbye, don't die.
Don't die today.
I just
Don't
say,
die today,
I just say
thanks.
talk soon. Talk soon. We're gonna talk soon.
Which also implies no death.
Right,
Yes.
right, of course.
Yeah.
Because you have to be alive.
Unless you
in order
become
to
a
talk.
chatty ghost.
It is
Ghosts don't-
Halloween.
Ghosts don't exist,
Yeah, well,
that I know of.
I know, but I'm just saying, if you die, you better come back as a talking ghost.
So wait, if I die,
I don't
you want me to
ask.
haunt
I
you?
don't ask for a lot, Ron.
You want me to haunt
okay?
you if I die?
Yes.
Okay.
I think that's what she's saying.
Great.
Amicably.
I think this might be the first time in history where someone was like, you know, when you die, haunt me.
I would love a little check-in here
Lily
and there.
Dumblestuck fan says that got somber quick. Yes, it sure did.
It's Halloween. Come on.
It
Get
got
somber.
spooky.
Yes.
Yeah.
Spooky. You might die.
One of these dungeon rundowns will be a seance. It'll be great.
Ooh.
Oh, man.
Thank you, everybody at home. Each week, you, the watchers and runners, keep the chat fired up with awesome comments, smart predictions, and thoughtful questions. Tonight, one of you posted the best of the best and earned yourself a Dungeon Run t-shirt. So, congratulations to Lily Dumblestuck fan.
Yeah.
Who said, Lily dodging love like James dodges death.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Keep an eye out for an email with details on getting your new swag home. And of course, posting a comment is not the only way to get your hands on a Dungeon Run shirt. Visit thedungeonrun.fandom.com to upload your fan art, and one of those shirts could be yours. This week, Son of Jockster is getting a shirt for his piece, Claudiette's Sacrifice. Take a look at that now.
Yeah, it's
Oh.
he's literally taken Hero Forge characters and arted over them, which
Oh,
is
it's
so cool. Such a great idea.
I love him.
I love him too. He did
So
another one
good.
that's good too. Yeah, they're so
Yeah.
good.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
And speaking of cool stuff people made, Ron, what's that you got in your hand over there?
So
just made that?
I did just now. As some of you who are on our Discord know, I'm a maker at heart, a programmer, and yeah, please. So
It's a couple different pieces.
Yeah, it is 3 different pieces. So I've recently gotten into 3D printing, especially with the D&D stuff that we're doing now. So I've printed. This is actually for my superhero campaign on Sunday. It is a barrow made by E3CD Designs. Evan is a very, very talented person.
There you
So
go.
I painted this, and I was just telling Katie, it's one of those where you're like, you get so focused on what you're doing
cool.
that you do it, and then you finish, and you're like, oh wow, wow, that actually turned out okay.
It looks awesome.
So thank you, I appreciate that. Yeah, it's
I want to live there.
It took about
right?
18 hours to print, 6 hours each piece, and then about 30 minutes to paint.
And you did it in pieces because it's easier to store that way, right?
It's easier to store that way. I could glue them together and may at some point. This might actually be something I'd give away.
This is
After I use it.
super cool. Like, I feel like if you bought a bunch of set pieces to go along with your campaign, they would not look as cool as this. This is very, very cool.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for sharing it. It's one of those where like, I want to give back to the fan base too and share my art kind of stuff. Like you guys are fans and give so much to us. Like I want to show you the stuff that I get excited about too. So we're a community, so share it.
Thank you for sharing this. And you said you might give it away. Where can people follow you?
Follow us on the Discord. You can also follow me on my Instagram, The Real Ogden. It's also my Twitter handle. I will probably try to talk to the production and figure out a way I can give it out through this.
Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, everyone at home, you've got less than 24 hours until the next episode of the Dungeon Run. A huge thank you to Katie Michels and Ron Ogden.
Thank
Yay!
you.
Thank you guys for being on the stream tonight.
Yeah,
Thank you for having us.
I really want to say, Trish, it's awesome. You are so great.
I also
You just hit
wanna
me
say-
right in the field.
I just want to say you're really great. I really love being on here with you every time.
Well,
you're so sweet and just genuine and amazing.
Time just flies by.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for being so accepting and welcoming me into the Dungeon Run family. I have felt that way since day one of the rundown.
You are
Glad
the
you feel
family.
that you are.
I love you guys so much, and being here talking D&D with you guys is my favorite part of every week, so thank you.
Enjoy it.
And of course, we'll spread the good vibes on to you guys at home. Thank you to you, the watchers of the time stream, for staying here to get ready for all of tomorrow's action at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard. Next Tuesday, make your way right back here for another stellar recap with some of the players of your favorite tabletop game. I'm Trisha Hershberger, and this was the Dungeon Rundown. Good night, everybody.